We are here. We are here. Welcome back. It's your boy, the coach, to the Coach's Huddle, where the field meets family. And we got another one. Just when you think there's nothing to talk about, we're in the dead period. You know, owners' meetings. What are we going to learn in owners' meetings? What is going to happen? Nothing can happen in owners' meetings. We're not going to learn anything. Nobody's going to say anything that's going to be eyebrow raising. And then there was Jed. Like, dog, Jesse, how are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I feel like Jed does this every year. Every year he does something. Like last year, the last 2 years, it was about Eddie DeBartolo. Well, Eddie didn't have to deal with the salary cap the way that we do, and things have changed. And, you know, maybe if Eddie was the owner today. And so this year, it doesn't surprise me. Once again, Jed definitely pissing off some people. He's definitely got you fired up. So I'm excited.
Bro, so much to cover. So
because you've been like super fan all off season, and now all of a sudden it's like, come to the dark side, coach. Come to the dark side a little bit.
Don't do this. I knew you were waiting for this. I knew you were waiting for this. Just like so many contingencies that you give them where you're like, you know, I think they believe this, you know, this on a positive tilt. I believe that, you know, we've gained something from last year. Bro, this dude, he ain't even know that Christian Kirk was signed, bro. Come on, son. What are you doing? We signed Mike Evans on the 12th of March, dog. That was 18 days ago. You haven't met him yet? Come on, man. Like, Jed is all over the place, man. Come on, you can't tell me that the aloof, like, dog, if I have to hear one more softball question about how hard it is to be a rich kid in America. You must have such a busy schedule. How do you count all those millions? I mean, what do you do all day? Tell it to me. I mean, your hand, you must have paper cuts. Like, what is this? What is this? Bro, he mailed that shit in, Jesse. He mailed it in. The entire interview, bro. And it was really hard for him to touch on things because, like, dare I say it, the reporters are informed. So they're asking him relevant questions, things that you would be dying to hear from the owner about. And he punted almost everything. I trust John and Kyle. You know, we're really in a whole nother groove now. I don't have to lord over every move. It's like, dude, I gave you the money. Go do what you have to go do. Go win. I just... Talking out about, and you know what I'm saving for, like, I'm not talking about Brandon Ayuk. I'm not talking about the whole situation. But, bruh, give me your thoughts, bro. Give me your thoughts.
I see, on one hand, I agree with you, where it's like, dude, really? You didn't, when he said he didn't know that they signed Christian Kirk until yesterday, basically, or 2 days ago on the plane, I was like, wait, what?
Come
How
on,
did you
son.
not know? But on the flip side, it's like, well, how much do I really want my owner involved? Right. And this is what's interesting to me, coach, because there's a lot of speculation on how much play he has on things. Last offseason, you know, Kyle and John, their hands were tied. They couldn't sign any free agents. Is that Jed's doing, what have you? And then to hear Jed say, oh, basically he's not involved in all is pretty interesting. But one thing he did say, and he was very clear about this, I give the budget for the offseason and then I'm hands off. So he does give a budget. He was very clear about that. So last year's budget is not this year's budget. That much is very clear. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, do we really want Jed involved in the day-to-day football stuff? Now, probably a little bit more than not knowing that you signed Christian Kirk a week plus ago. That, you know, not ideal. But other than that, like, I want him to be hands-off. But you know what else this tells me, Coach? This tells
What?
me that John and Kyle are here as long as they want to be here, Coach.
Dog, that is something else you know what this feels like? This feels like some substitute teacher shit. Or like, you know, when like back in the day when we were kids, like when your parents were really busy with work or they had something else to do and they just left you home with Hot Pockets, fish sticks, and TGIF and told you not to answer the door for anybody. That's what this feels like. This feels like, hey, I got some stuff to do. Don't make me look bad. Here's your allotted money to keep everything afloat. Let me know. But all of this, like 10 toes down, we care about nothing but championships. Dog, it was like he didn't even care about the irony. Like, you don't know about your free agent signings. You haven't met your top free agent signing. And you're sitting here talking about the standard is nothing but championships. Like, but then in the middle of them talking about your duties to the football team, you're peppering in all of your other responsibilities that have nothing to do with us. This is an NFL interview. I do not care about Leeds. I do not care about the Rangers. I can give two shits about the DeBartolo Corporation. Nobody cares about that. And like, you think that gets you currency here? You think that works here? You walking around New York Ave with rubles, my dude. You got a currency exchange. I don't get why he thinks that this gets him credit because Jed is so busy. It's like, dude, you gotta lock in. And then, my man, they asked my boy, they said, hey, Jed, tell me what you do during draft prep. Talk to me about the guys that, you know, that you like during the draft, the guys that you're really in on. Now, mind you, this is after years of Jed taking a victory lap when we were winning on almost every player that came in. Jed gives this whole top to bottom story. He was in on everything, wanted to make sure that the guys were right. I was there on the trips. I watched, Kyle showed me some film. Dude, it's so many interviews of Jed basically cosplaying like he's a coach. And he literally sat there and said, I don't watch film at all. At all. I don't watch film at all. And then in the very next breath, the head coach at Leeds asked me about American football, and I told him, yeah, right about now, I know 99%. I know more football than 99% of people on planet Earth. Jed. 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 It was frustrating. It was aggressive mediocrity. It was mediocrity that struts. And it made my skin crawl. Like, there is nothing that you can say about the team when you know that you got a guy like that that's basically like, dude, just make me look good. Wasn't that the energy, Jesse? I gave you the money. Just make me look good, man.
He contradicted himself a lot, even in that same interview, because he said things like, I didn't even know we signed Christian Kirk, but also he knows for a fact that no free agent that they met with had any issues about taxes or the substation. He knows that for a fact, but he didn't know they signed Christian Kirk. How do you know that? Like, you don't even know that we signed a player 10 days ago, but you know for a fact that all the free agents had zero issues. And I'm not trying to like make it like a thing, like the substation should be a problem, or that's
but
beside
it just
the point.
speaks to the facts of what he's saying.
You can't say both.
Yeah.
Like, both cannot be true. You can't be so involved that you know for a fact that no player had an issue with either of those things. Yet you don't even know that we signed Christian Kirk until 8 to 10 days after it actually happened. Those things do not add up at all.
Nah, man, I just wasn't feeling it. You know, I'm staying away from it on purpose because I feel like in the history of our takes and our discourse, you are on the other side of this. And right now, I think that you got a victory. You got a little bit of a win today with how Jed basically was flipping about Brandon Ayuk. All right, a couple of things that just don't make sense. Number one, this is what's wild. He says this about Brandon Ayuk. You seem to open the door for him to be able to get back with the team. Anything is possible. I think he needs to get healthy and show that he can perform, right? That's a snippet of what he said answering the Brandon Ayuk question.
So that implies he's not healthy right now when he says that.
Right. That implies that he's not healthy. He said he alluded to that multiple times in that answer. Like, he needs to be healthy. He needs to show that he can perform. We need to see him when he gets back. The very next question was, is he healthy? He goes, I don't know. I haven't seen him. What the fuck, Jed? Come on, man. Come on, Jed. Come on, Jed. You can't play in my face like that. Like, son, what is that? He talked for a full 45 seconds, gave his best billionaire deposition, plead the fifth answer that you could ever see. He's just got to, he's got to be healthy. He's got to be prepared. He's got to show that he can perform. He's got to, he has to show, that he wants to be a part of the team. They even said, like, hey, Jed, is there, so what you're saying? Because he was so vague, he left so many, like, dangling participles out there that somebody was like, well, all right, I guess I'll pick up one of these. So is there a chance that he's coming back? Because you're just kind of leaving it all open. He's like, anything's possible. Anything's possible. Brandon just has to show that he's can perform and that he can actually, be a contributor to the team, whatever. The very next question. Oh, so is he healthy? I don't know. I haven't seen him yet. Dog. Come on, man. There's a side of this that while I was listening to it, I was calming myself down and saying, dude, he's just an owner, man. Come on, bro. He's paying the checks. Let's just let this go. But you can't blatantly lie in my face. You can't test my gangster. You can't blatantly lie in my face, Jesse. How wild was that? And then what's crazy is Kyle, they're all in lockstep. Mo, Larry, and Curly, all of them. Like, they all are pushing this narrative that I find dubious at best, at the least, when they say, well, we have to just see what we're going to get for him. We got to see, what type of assets that we're going to get for Brandon Ayuk. Dude, it was cool when you put it out there the first time, but now it's just like, you're not going to get anything for him. Nobody's going to trade for him. So I don't know. I don't know, Jesse. Go ahead, man. I don't know.
I think, to me, like, this conversation about Brandon Ayuk was a reminder that all these players are is cattle, essentially, to an owner, right? Not to coaches, because coaches are around these guys every day. They build relationships. I believe that. But to me, hearing him talk about Ayuk like he's an asset and not a person, that right there just reminds me how harsh this business is. And it also lets me know that I don't think Ayuk is on this team because Kyle or even John want him to be anymore. It's because Jed's like, this is an asset. Jed. I paid him a lot of money. You better get something for him. Otherwise, he stays on this roster until you get something for him.
Agreed, man. It hits, Jesse, because how benign he was about it. It's not John. It's not Kyle. Yeah. Jed he's got the money. I mean, let's be real. Let's just call it what it is. Jed has fuck you money. He's got fuck you money. Okay. And with having that, what is the use of having fuck you money if you never get to say fuck you every once in a while? You know what I'm saying? And this right here is a lesson in American economics. 1 + 1 don't equal 2, motherfucker. It equals whatever I want it to because I got the coin. All right. And the way that Jed came in, like, it wasn't the fact that he was unprepared, uninformed, contradictory. All right. All of those things didn't matter. The common denominator of all of those characteristics that he displayed in that interview was arrogance. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't kiss my ass. I don't know that we just signed Christian Kirk. You know what? I didn't have to tell you that, but I just felt like doing it. I just found out. And you know where I found out on? I found out on my jet. Pull up, nigga. I just found out on my jet. All right? Stud on. How you like me now? That's how that felt. It's like, yeah, so like, I felt like a geek. They felt like those dudes felt like dweebs around him, asking him all of these meticulous little nuanced questions that anybody who would care about the tapestry of what's going on right now would have like a real answer. Like, hey, you know what? I've been waiting for that. You know, it's the owners' meetings. I know you've been waiting to hear from me. But Jed is just like, he's got the arrogance of like stupidity. He's just like, yeah, I don't know. Mike Evans, haven't even met him. Like, what are we talking about? Brandon Ayuk? Oh, he's an asset. It's like, yeah, but, you know, the elephant in the room is that, you know, he kind of doesn't want to be here. And, you know, you took his money. So what are you going to do? He's like, no. He looked you straight in your eyes. It was just like, yeah, you know, he may be here. Like, almost as if to say, if you come back and apologize, maybe I'll think about it. That's what that felt like.
Let's play this out for a second. Let's say that the impossible happens and Brandon Ayuk sticks around and he plays this year. That more than spells the end for Ricky Pearsall. Right?
It's over.
It's over for Ricky because you've already got Mike Evans. You just signed Christian Kirk and you bring back Ayuk. Ricky Pearsall's fourth on the depth chart. Like, and that's just at receiver. He's still behind Christian McCaffrey and Kittle as far as pass catchers. Like, Ricky Pearsall's done if Ayuk were to come back to this team. Done.
Yeah, it's a wrap. I just go ahead, Jess. Go ahead, man.
No. I don't think Ayuk's gonna be back. I think it's posturing. But if we were to play this out and the impossible happened, then yeah, Ricky Pearsall's worthless to this team. Absolutely worthless.
Yeah. Hey, look. When you hear and just hear when you listen and feel the context, like you get the perspective of somebody speaking, it is so clear that, let's circle back to this. John and Kyle ain't going nowhere, bro.
No.
They aren't going anywhere. Not only are they not going anywhere, what did he say? He goes... when they're talking about John and Kyle being involved, he said, listen, he goes, we want to be able to do anything that's possible for John and Kyle. I don't know. He was like, what's John? He like thinks that they have more time than they really do. He was like, what's Kyle got 3 or 4 years left? Or what's John got? Maybe 2 or 1? What's JL got? And it was just like, no, John's got 1. Kyle's got 2. We're all paying attention to this. You know what I'm saying? And he basically like made it seem like it was nothing but a formality. He was just like, well, I want them to stay. You know, I would basically have a conversation with them to see how long they want to be with the organization, or if they wanted to do something else. He literally said, it's not even about what I want to do. It will be about what they want to do because I want them here. So, if John, and then he even expounded upon it and said, well, if they want to find a position inside of the organization, they can find. They can find it. So, look, bro. Listen, Jed, man, I don't want to hear about Leeds. I don't want to hear about the Rangers or the multiple other endeavors that you guys are into. I feel like he does a lot of that because he just wants everybody to believe he's just so busy. He's so busy. There's the Niners just have to wait. And, the net of it all is that the championship speak has grown hollow. It's so fake. It's plastic. And it was clear. It was on full display at the owners' meetings.
Well, it's funny because he started off like the most important thing is winning a Super Bowl. He did that again But then when he was asked about the travel and all those other things, he's like, well, I mean, we just want to be good soldiers, basically. We'll travel everywhere and anywhere. It's, people want to complain about it. By the way, his own coach 2 hours earlier complained about it. People want to complain about it.
First
but
question.
It's like, if we want to push the league forward, I mean, these are the things we have to do. Like, sign us up. It's clear that Jed York, and I said this when it happened, because I knew that 49er fans were going to complain, like, oh, we always get screwed with travel. It's like, Jed's signing you up for this. Jed is asking for all of these things. Number one, they built the stadium in a crappy place facing the wrong direction. So every year they ask to start the season on the road. That's number one. Number two, he asks for the international games. So this is what happens. This is why they get screwed schedule-wise and travel-wise and all the things, because of this exact thing. It's Jed York doing it.
Yeah. They're never going to do it, but just... Our hopes are with John and Kyle, bro. Jed's hopeless.
Yeah.
Like that's it, bro. Jed is hopeless. And Jed can't even sell the team. It's not really his team to sell. He's essentially a manager of the team. He checks in. His immense trust of John and Kyle is I mean, I get it. What are you supposed to say? But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of process of what they do. He's had so many gaffes. Like it's amazing how many gaffes he's had, and then to have this attitude of wanting to be taken seriously, but you don't know like pertinent shit. Like that kills me.
Yeah. Yep. How long ago
All right,
did we
man.
sign Christian Kirk? What has it been? 10 days?
10 days.
Something like that? He didn't
Yeah.
know till 2 days ago. That's crazy.
That's nuts. But in the same breath can talk about Super Bowls, like the expectation of
Hey.
Super Bowls. That's crazy.
He really liked Arnaz Battle once upon a time, though. I'll tell you that. He did say
Yeah,
that.
I really like Arnaz Battle. It's like, bro, all right, Arnaz Battle was cold. But outside of that, bro, like, come on. Jed went to Michigan? Didn't Arnaz Battle go to Michigan?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Somebody look that up. Where did Arnaz Battle go? Arnaz Battle.
I lost
Hold
you.
on.
Was that me? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got you.
No, Arnaz Battle went to Notre Dame. Wow.
Notre Dame. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew it was one of those schools up there. So let's transition into Kyle. I think Kyle's presser went almost kind of doubled Jed's presser. It was about 30 minutes long. Jed only went in for like maybe about 15 to 20 minutes, if that. But there was a lot there. Early on, first questions that came out, obviously talking about the travel. Kyle hates it. But there were some things that I wanted to highlight, which is Kyle seemed to be a little conflicted on whether he wants veteran leadership on his team, or he's ready to promote youth on the team with depth. A lot of that came up with questions about the acquisitions of Mike Evans and Christian Kirk. Kyle came out and admitted, he said full force, like, hey, listen, I absolutely love the deals, bringing them on. One of the biggest things that came up when he said on Mike Evans is that he was really eager. Mike's the man. I watched him for so long. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. It's how he plays, how he comes to work every day, how important football is to him. The fact that he chose to come to us for the football situation shows that. I love pairing him with guys who are playing for one reason and trying to get a Super Bowl. That was kind of paraphrasing. He seemed to allude to the fact that Mike was going to be around some good guys in, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, George Kittle and the like, Nick Bosa, name them all. He also went on to say about Christian Kirk, like Mike, Christian Kirk is another veteran receiver who knows how to play. I've been a huge fan of Christian since college. Watching him this year, he looks like the same guy he's always been. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he basically no drop off with Christian Kirk.
Okay, he's had some injuries, but when he came back, he was the same. He competes, he blocks. I love getting, for lack of a better word, men at the position. Guys who've done it before and nothing's too big for them. That doesn't necessarily sound like he cares about rookies or young guys who need to actually show their worth on this team. Ergo, Jordan Watkins, Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing. What's your take on that? Where, and John alluded to it as well, there's like this whole theme about wanting men in the room, wanting men at the position. And I do understand that from a standpoint of you want a level of professionalism on your team, right? You want guys who you're never going to have to question their effort, things that you shouldn't have to coach, right? Like effort, professionalism, punctuality, stick-to-itiveness, policing your own self. But that also kind of leans on to, it opens a little bit more of a window onto why younger guys don't play, especially on offense. And what do you think Kyle meant by that when he said that he loves men at the position? Because Ricky Pearsall is 25 years old. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's a grown-ass man. So where do you think he was trying to go with that? And is there a potential crack there that you can see that has been hurting us?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very clear that he wants veteran. I mean, we know that Kyle likes veteran players. Now, that's not to say that he won't play young players or rookies, because once upon a time, Debo was a big contributor as a rookie. Brandon Ayuk contributed as a rookie. But he is looking for guys that know his offense. If he can choose between an uber talented rookie that doesn't know his offense in and out versus a guy who's mediocre and knows his offense in and out, he's going to take that guy every time. He wants that guy on the field. And we know that about Kyle. And he's just admitting that. I do want to talk a little bit, though, about Kyle just overall and his demeanor, because I feel like this has been a thing in the past where he's shown up to these meetings, he's looked hungover, he just doesn't look the part as far as being ready to go. The last couple of years, man, he's really come in buttoned up and put together. Like, he seems like he's having fun. Like, he's a joy to be around right now. I don't know, like the Super Bowl thing, the flag football thing, Kyle seems like he's enjoying things a little bit more. He's not as uptight as what he was. And I don't know why before he came across that way. I feel like it almost seems like he's got his own like PR team that's like pumping him up and putting him out there and kind of changing his perception to the fan base. And it seems intentional. But either way, man, like I got to give Kyle credit because outwardly, he seems fun to be around again. Like he seems like he's enjoying the game. He doesn't seem so smug, regardless of the questions. Like I was sitting there thinking, I don't know about you, and I know that this is how it is, but you got when you got this guy leaning over your shoulder doing this in your face with the mic, like to me, I was annoyed for him. I'm like, just elbow this guy, get him out of here. Then all of a sudden he grabs a mic from his buddy and they're holding two mics up and doing the whole thing. It's like, bro, get out of buddy's face, man. But Kyle's just, nonchalant. It's whatever. And just answering the questions and even followed up later on the questions. Like, I just felt like overall it has to be talked about. Like, I like Kyle's demeanor and I feel like he's putting effort into portraying that he's enjoying himself more. And I think it's working. I think he's doing a good job. I want to give him credit for that.
I would agree. He does look healthier. He looks more serene, if you will. Kind of not before it seemed like he was defensive. You know what I mean? Kind of like a wounded animal. Every little thing, you could tell that he was reacting to it. But now you seem... there's an air of him kind of being above it all, and I really like that for him. I believe that I've seen him like that 6-11 year. That was tough, man. Watching him, and outside of content creation, when you see somebody physically, deteriorating in a sense, it's just no good. So I do like that for Kyle. I do like the fact that, yes, it does seem like he's kind of come out here to get his digital footprint going on and coming out with, the flag football situation and speaking at the owners' meetings as well. To be honest with you, I did enjoy the interview that he gave. And some other points that Kyle walked into that I liked was left guard. Now, look, offensive line it's a labor of love. We get that. But Kyle and John doubled down on this, which I love, and that is that left guard is not done. They're not done. Now, the Niners have done a lot on the offensive line as far as depth is concerned. They brought in offensive tackle Brett Toth, signing a one-year deal. Guard, one-year deal Robert Jones, coming from Dallas off of being medically cleared from a neck injury last full season in 2024 with the Miami Dolphins. And then finishing that off with a swing tackle in Viridian Lowe after losing Spencer Burford, who signed a 2-year deal worth up to $12 million with $5.75 million guaranteed. Listen, this is a team that went out and in the most loaded offensive line draft in the last 20 years, in decades, they brought us back Dominic Pooney. I love Dominic Pooney, but you could have did more. Time and time again, they turn around, they cut Colton McKivitz, bring Colton McKivitz back, develop him. I love it. They get him to, average starting level in the NFL. They smack a 2-year deal on him, and that's our starting right tackle. I don't know what's going on with Jake Brindle. He must have the Epstein files. I don't know why he's still on the team. But Jake Brindle is here at center, and there's nobody that can get rid of him. All right? Left guard, there's a turnstile of left guard. We tried our best to handle it. We put in every backup old veteran guy that we've had there, even to the chagrin of going out for a second-round pick and letting him go and get overpaid by the Green Bay Packers. So I didn't expect them to say anything about the offensive line because they went out and got 3 backups, and a possible starter, and Robert Jones, who Kyle also said was going to be fighting for competition for the left guard spot. There's a world where guards and offensive linemen drop in the first round of the draft because of, I'm going to tell you, there's going to be an arms race on receivers in the first round. They're not that good this year, and there's teams that need them. There's going to be an arms race on edge. There's not a lot of top-end edges, okay? I think that there's going to be an arms race on corner. There's not a lot of top-end corners. So, I don't know. A Vega Ioane could fall. It might happen. It might happen.
Listen,
it might happen.
If he gets to, 20 or 21 where the Steelers pick, he's gone. He's gone for sure. He's not. Right. If he makes it that far.
Hold on. So let's talk about it.
No way.
The Steelers need a quarterback. You think the Steelers would not take Ty Simpson and get Vega Ioane if he was there?
Get Vega and then take Drew Allar too. Take him in round 3. Drew Allar.
Shut up. You're not getting no Drew Allar. Stop it.
Why?
Ty Simpson's better than Drew Allar. You get Ty Simpson.
You don't draft him in round 1 though. I don't think.
You don't think Ty Simpson's going round 1?
No, I think he will. I don't know that he makes it to the Steelers number 1, and I think that would be stupid if you're the Steelers.
All right. Okay. So
Vega ain't making it to the 49ers. I'm letting you know that right now. It just ain't going to happen.
All right, okay. So let's just get back to the point.
I mock draft him early on to the 49ers, and it was like, oh, man, I think... No, there's no chance. No way.
He might, if he's there, dog, I'm snapping on you on live. If
he's there, 49ers still ain't taking him. Which would be even worse. If he was there and the 49ers didn't take him, it'd be even worse.
They still wouldn't even take him. Yeah, but what? All right, so let's get back to what's realistic. Kyle did allude to the fact that he hopes that they have an opportunity to maybe get an interior lineman later in the draft. Now, later in the draft this year is not really that much later in the draft. It's only 4th round. You know what I mean? Do you think, now let me ask you this. Is there a possibility, they keep talking about the draft. We only have 6 picks. And I'm of the mindset that it's not the fact that we need to get 10 to 12 rookies in here, but we do need an influx. I think we need at least like 8 guys to come in here to help compete. So do you think that Niners are going to trade back in the draft? You think we trade out of the 4th round to pick up some more draft capital?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I mean, not. I doubt it, because it's not like it's not. They're not like the Seahawks, where the Seahawks only have a few picks this year and then have like 12 next year. That's not the case for the 49ers, right? Like, they have a normal bevy of picks next year. So I just think they're going to go crazy. Something they didn't do last year was undrafted free agents. They didn't go after a ton. I feel like they're going to go crazy in that market.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So let's go into another topic that came up inside of the interviews with Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I thought we were moving off Kyle already. I'm like, hold on. I got some more things to talk about, but we're good. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take over, because I don't want to take up something that you already have prepared.
Yeah. I just want to talk about, in general, to me, Kyle, at the very least, acknowledged that this is an issue, but it almost seemed like he was perturbed by it, because he went out of his way multiple times to talk about how old they are. First of all, he was asked about Mike Evans. He's like, well, I mean, we would love to bring in young, healthy players, but we got to just go what's available to us. Then later on, he was asked about how George Kittle helped bring in Mike Evans, and he went out of his way to say, well, we're able to add Mike Evans, and he's a veteran, and we have some veterans on this team. And then he paused and he's like, a lot of veterans on this team.
Yeah.
Are you perturbed that you guys are this old? And where's the disconnect? Because I feel like Kyle has his hand in this roster in a big way, but it almost seemed like like I said, at the very least,
there's something very that aware he can't do,
and that he wants to do.
It's
almost like he's already setting up the. Hey, just so you know, if it doesn't go as well, we got a lot of veterans that are injured on this team. Just so hands off. I can only do the best I can do here.
I'll double down on this. There was a question. Why do you think the offense struggled to generate explosive plays last season? Kyle's full answer. Yeah, I think we struggled to generate some big plays. It's the least amount of explosives we've ever had. That goes from scheme to runs from the backs, not blocking on the perimeter as well as we have in the past. But we definitely have to get better at that. We've never been that low statistically. It's something we commit to, and we still stick with it throughout the year. And we still stuck with it throughout the year, which helped us in the pass game, but we didn't get the production we wanted. That's something we're really trying to improve on. All right, so how are you trying to improve on it? Mike Evans and Christian Kirk are not explosive additions to the offense. George Kittle is not an explosive addition to the offense. Oh, I wanted to talk to you about that too. We can get to that later. Christian McCaffrey, God love him, and I know this is almost like saying a racial slur around here, but Christian McCaffrey has lost a step. It is not that bad, okay? It happens to running backs, all right? What explosive elements have we added to the offense that Kyle can truly hang his hat on? Kyle and John can truly hang their hat on. What is he talking about?
What I found interesting is he made it sound like we have to find a way to get somebody in here that can help Christian McCaffrey at running back. And it's like, how many assets do you need to pour into that position? You traded up for Garindo. You drafted a running back last year. You traded another pick last year for Robinson, who's no longer on this team. You drafted Ty Davis Price. How many guys and how many assets are you going to pour into that position for them not to play? What do you mean you got to help Christian McCaffrey? We got to get somebody that can help Christian. It's almost as if somebody's not as good as Christian, they just don't deserve to play, is basically what he's saying. You have to be on Christian's level or you can't play. It's like, well, you're not going to find somebody that's on Christian's level. Not right now.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. So you can't just play somebody based off of if they're as good as Christian. That's not going to happen. You just got to spell them. You got to spell them.
One thing that I will say is that Kyle watches our program. And you know why I know Kyle watches our show?
Why?
Is because before I say this, Everybody now, we got some regulars, right? This is our only show where our platforms connect, right? So we get some people that see me, get a chance to see me that never come over here, and vice versa. That's one reason why we love this show. In the chat, tell me if you do not remember. This is around negative fan, positive fan era, okay? Tell me if you remember one of the takes that I gave for Mike Evans coming onto the team. This is before Christian Kirk got signed, but Mike Evans coming onto the team, and it was that the top half of the wide receiver room is beleaguered. These guys have been going through contract negotiations. They've been in back and forth with the team. Guys have been moving in and out. And because of that, that has affected the entire room. And you need somebody older who can come in, show some of these younger guys how to be pros, because the guys who would have been showing them how to be pros, how to fight through injury, their approach to the game, how to be one of the best receivers on their team and play their role, have patience. All of these guys are gone. So you don't really get anything out of Ricky Pearsall, Jordan Watkins, and Jacob Cowell. Like, who are these guys, big homies, right? And we're talking about definitely, Jawan Jennings, Deebo Samuel, and B.A. Now, do you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah. I definitely remember that.
Listen to your boy Kyle. Listen to your boy Kyle. All right. The question, it was, tell me why the wide receiver room resets. Why did you reset the wide receiver room, and why did you go with veterans? He goes, yeah, I went with veterans. We had 3 guys who ran that position for about 5 years, B.A., Deebo, and Juwan, which is wild. That sentence alone. We had 3 guys who ran that position for 5 years. Dude, you had a wide receiver room. He gets so, do you hear how he speaks? He's so beholden to guys who just make it work for him. It's like, if you can do it, that's it. You're the starter. You're the guy. It's all about trust. Just go get it done. It's really interesting. Okay, so to get back to the quote. He goes, we've had 3 guys who ran that position for about 5 years, B.A., Deebo, and Juwan. It took a while to get those guys going. Then we rode with them for a while and had a hell of a ride. I love the guys we have now, but we do have young guys still trying to show that they can stay healthy and play in this league. Adding guys who have done it before to the mix with those guys makes a good combination. So I kind of see where they're going with this. Who can Ricky Pearsall really count on Brandon Ayuk right now? No. Right? Who can these young guys count on in order for us to actually see what we want? And for me, if Christian Kirk and Mike Evans have to be wet nurses, so be it. So be it. But I still stand on this. If we're depending on Mike Evans and Christian Kirk late in the season, and even if Christian Kirk makes this team, that's a problem. That's an indictment on those guys.
Well, and I also want to say, like, it's great that you had Deebo, Juwan, and Ayuk, but, like, Deebo, once upon a time, was, I feel like, everybody's favorite 49er. Brandon Ayuk, once upon a time, was my favorite 49er. I know Jawan Jennings is a lot of guys' favorite 49ers at one point in time. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, either way, those guys held down the position room, but were any of those guys like a Mike Evans or a Christian Kirk where you want them to truly be taking guys under their wing and teaching them how to be pros in the league? I think the answer is no.
Listen,
Brandon Ayuk helped the defense. He helped Deommodore Lenoir, and I'll stand by that until I'm blue in the face.
That's what I was going to get to.
Deommodore Lenoir is who he is in large part because of Brandon Ayuk and that back and forth. But as far as the receiver room goes, these are guys who, when they were up for their money, did things the absolute wrong way. And, you had the shorts incident with Brandon Ayuk. You had the Jawan Jennings yelling at Kyle Shanahan on the sideline and then half-assing it in the Bucs game. You had Deebo Samuel choking your punter or your long snapper and kicker and whatever else. Like, I just don't know that those are like your pros leader type guys. At the very least, Mike Evans and Christian Kirk are exactly those guys.
So I don't know. What is it? Let me ask you this. This is complete conjecture. Like, we don't know this to be true, but the narrative is that Kyle comes in and he's basically first pick, second pick guy, maybe third pick guy, and then fourth and on is everybody else's draft to pick, right? They kind of handle the rest of the draft. With that said, one thing that I did notice is that Debo, Brandon, and Juwan are Kyle guys. Well, Juwan in the 7th round. I feel like Juwan's a little different because he maybe ascended and got Kyle's attention. But what guys are on the roster that are Kyle guys? Guys that got drafted, guys that got brought onto the team, and have any of them made it to a second contract here?
I mean, that would be clear.
Debo made it to a
Kyle
second
guys.
deal.
Yeah, Debo. Ayuk, obviously.
Ayuk. But outside of just a second contract, like, what Kyle guys are still here? That he drafted, not Christian, not Juice, guys that he traded for. I'm talking about guys that we seen from the womb to the tomb. Like, the Kyle birthed the kid, he brought him in here. Who's a Kyle guy on this team? Kyle brought him in as a rookie. He's been his dude ever since. He's a Kyle guy.
Kittle? I mean, would you constitute Kittle as that?
5th round guy?
I mean, I don't know that he advocated to draft him, but as soon as he was in the building, it was clear he loved him.
Yeah. Kittle?
Kittle, yeah, for sure. I would say Kittle probably.
Yeah.
Trent Taylor.
I don't know. I saw. No, you saw that. You saw that.
Oh, somebody! I didn't. I swear I didn't see that. That's so funny. That is funny.
You said, as soon as you said it, it came up. So.
And that's so funny. Hell yeah! Hey, I like it. There we go, Ziggs. We're on the same page.
All right. So, one thing also sticking on Colt McKivitz, sticking on Kyle. It did come up with John. And Kyle brought it up lightly, is that they're expecting George Kittle to be back by week 1. How much onus do you put in this, Jesse? Are they serious? Are they not? Are you taking them seriously?
No, absolutely not. They're traveling to Australia week 1.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Brandon Ayuk was supposed to be back week 1 too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah, he was.
No. To me, I feel like the 49ers always do this where they talk all offseason about how a guy's ahead of schedule. And then it comes to the point where it's like they're practicing and the reports are that he looks good. And then they always do the same thing where they're like, hey, he looks good. We like how they're progressing, way ahead of schedule. Could have had a chance to play to week 1, but we're going to do the safe thing and we're just going to pup him for the first 4 weeks and then he'll be ready to go by week 5. That's what I think is probably going to happen. But it was like the same thing with Christian. Remember, Christian was questionable going into week 1 and then didn't play till like week 10. And Brandon Ayuk was supposed to play week 1 and then he still hasn't played. Like, I don't think so. And I think it would be a mistake, honestly. I really think it would be a mistake.
Yeah, me too. And even if he's back, what George are we getting? I keep saying that's so true. There's a difference
injury
of being.
It's gonna take a full season before he's back. Like if they're lucky,
Like
by the
Dre,
time the
Greenlaw,
playoffs come, yeah.
All right. So let's close out with our last topic. Kyle obviously loves the Raheem Morris acquisition, our new defensive coordinator by way of Atlanta. Kyle and Raheem Morris, their reputations precede each other. They've been together for a while, all the way back to Tampa. They've actually coached together. Raheem Morris has coached on Kyle's staff as a receivers coach in Atlanta. And Raheem is also matriculated within their coaching tree, being with Sean McVay and others. So one thing that we like about the Raheem Morris hire is that there's a potential for this not to be an echo chamber, in that Kyle has found somebody that he likes, right? Because that's just how it works around here. But we also have somebody who has versatility that can bring things that we don't usually use at a high clip. So one question that went toward that is, how do you see the defensive scheme evolving this year with the current roster? Kyle's full answer was Raheem has done more five-down fronts. He's done more five-down fronts than anyone. He did that with the Rams and in Atlanta, but I think it's more personnel-based. Whatever players you have, what are they best at? They all come in different shapes and sizes depending on what's available. The cool thing about Raheem is that he's done a number of different schemes. So we'll be able to see what our personnel looks like around OTAs to see what we have after the draft to put our players in the best position. So I raised this on a video that I recently did covering Kyle's interview, and that is there's a couple of people that there's so many schools of thought on the 27th pick, right? There's some people that think we should go BPA. Some people believe that we should go tackle, depending on what's going on with Trent Williams. Some people believe that, receivers are locked. We need to go ahead and get a receiver. But there's also a huge contingency for edge. I'm on that. I'm team edge. I want an edge in the first round. But edge kind of falls into two buckets. There's either the traditional edge crew, where they want the Zion Youngs, the 6'6", 265, 270, run-stopping edge. Basically, Mykel Williams part deux. Like, just Mykel Williams with more pass rush ability. But again, we just need another strong edge. Then you have people who are falling on more of the Malachi Lawrence side of things, where they want somebody that's not necessarily that pronounced in his run defense, but what he does give you is package ability right out of the block. He gives you a good pass rush, a lot of versatility with being able to drop out into the zone, having somebody that can move all over the field, kind of like a chess piece, as a 3-4 end versus maybe a 43 end. Given that we know Raheem Morris is going to have some type of stamp on this draft, where do you think we go at 27 if we were to go edge? Do you still think we go after that 34 edge or that 4-3 guy?
I think we go with someone that's a little bit lighter. Like, I don't think we go with that big edge. I think we go with someone that's a little bit lighter. One thing I do want to bring up, though, that was a little bit frustrating from Kyle's answer with that. I understand what he's saying, and it sounds good on the surface because you're like, oh, you're giving Raheem Morris autonomy, like whatever he wants to do, whatever is best for these players. But to me, the 49ers have been a heavy zone scheme defense for many years. But when you look at the corners that they've brought in year after year after year, this goes all the way back to when they had, what was his name? Mosley, E-Man. Back when they had Mosley. From Mosley to Verrett and everybody forward, seems like they've been man corner type of guys, yet they continue to run heavy zone defenses.
They can't find it.
If you're doing what is best for the players there, it shouldn't just be a Raheem Morris thing. And if you are to believe that that is the case, then for many years they probably should have been playing more man defense, but they haven't been. So I don't know how much autonomy he's gonna be given. It seems like Robert Saleh had a lot of play last year with the guys that were drafted. We assume that those were Robert Saleh guys, and maybe that's the case. But Raheem Morris is probably going to be here for at least a few years. So I think he wants somebody that's more of a speedy edge. I think if he is given the choice, he's going to take somebody that's lighter, quicker, has more bend, and is more of a pure pass rusher type, in my opinion.
Okay. One more topic before we get out of here. D winners, man. So Kyle talked about Dre Greenlaw, loves having Dre Greenlaw back, says he's one of the best linebackers he's ever coached. Blah, 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 blah. What basically happened is they ended the conversation with, so, what are we going to do at will? Is Dre Greenlaw going to get penciled in at will? Because we know D Winters was in that position heavily last year. And Kyle basically said, that's the plan. He's back at will linebacker. So you got Dre Greenlaw who's coming back. He's on the field. We know that Fred's on the field. they're running a 34, so they're not really going to be using 4 traditional linebackers on the field. D. Winters is a little light in the ass to be an edge rusher. So did D. Winters kind of get low-key demoted, and we're all just waiting for it to happen once camp rolls out?
Yeah, I mean, I think
he led our defense in tackles.
He did, but he's had 2 years to kind of prove that he is worth it. And he had all of 2 seasons ago, essentially, because Dre Greenlaw was out. And then last year they tried to bring back Dre. He ended up going to the Broncos. So D. Winters had all the runway that he could ask for. And the fact that they brought back Dre Greenlaw, I think that says a lot about what they think of D. Winters. I don't think they're very high on D. Winters for, whatever reason. I mean, I can point to a few, but it seems to me like he's not a guy that they want to keep here long term. I thought he could be a cap casualty. I really did. And that was before they signed Dre Greenlaw, because
that's true.
Most of his money, like it would be, you could just cut him and get him off the books. But the other question is, if let's say Dre Greenlaw is still next man up, is Nick Martin ever going to play on this team?
I
you know how much hype that guy got?
Dude, they reached for his ass. I know. I low-key think that they have more hope in Nick Winters, Nick Martin. And he's got a little bit more runway because he just got here. I don't know, man. D. Winters, they could probably get some assets for D. Winters. D. Winters may low-key turn into like the new DFF on our squad.
Could. Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
He definitely could.
So
I could see come draft time, because I mean, you tell me, you're more into the draft process than I am at this point. Like, is this a strong linebacking room or draft or no?
Yes.
It is? Oh, okay.
There's good linebackers this year.
It's going to be hard to trade D. Winters then, I would think.
Yeah. There's like 7 linebackers in the top 75, even though I think Sonny Styles is overrated. But there's like 7 linebackers. That's the one that tested like crazy? Nah, that's the linebacker out of the converted safety out of Ohio State. He plays with all 5 stars, bro. Like, we could have that conversation offline.
He's like the new Simmons and like
Kyle Hamilton type deal. It's just they're like trying to. It's like they see what Kyle Hamilton does, and it's like, how do we get that at linebacker? And it's like, well, become Tracy Edmonds. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the only way. Let's get a couple of super chats, man, so we can get out of here, bro. One super chat. We got Gammon Brown 9898. Jesse, what does Jed's millionaire laugh sound like? Replicate it for us. Extra snobby on the snide, please.
I can't do it, but
$1 million.
I almost choked on my caviar. I don't know. I see all of you with phones on. You must be able to use those things. I get on jets. Zoom works very fine for me at 75,000 altitude. How else do you get on your phones? Like, dude, it's like, Jed, cut it out. I'm busy. I'm in Ohio, New York, Stad, Miami, San Antone. I was with the soccer coach at Leeds the other day. He said, where do you come from? I know more football than 99% of people in the world. Kirk? Never heard of him. We signed him? Give him $1 million. Like, shut up, Jed. Tired of this Daddy Warbucks bullshit. Baby Radius 481. Is Jed aware he's the owner of the 49ers? Yes, bro.
I don't know that he is.
It's a goated comment. Gammon Brown 9898. What does the word precipice mean to you, and what does it mean to the 49ers organization? John Lynch said that the Trent Williams deal is on the precipice of being done. What does that mean to you, Jesse?
Well, that means that it should be done before the draft easily.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what it means. Yeah.
So we'll see. To the 49ers, that means that they're going to work on it into training camp.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Well, I will say this. The Niners are slowly stalemating themselves into a win. And the reason why I say that is there's not a lot of teams with just $30 million in their back pocket that could just wait on Trent, right? As things calcify, as the draft gets closer, 30 visits, things of that nature, we've already heard about like whispers of like the Patriots needing a left tackle. You saw them with Ian Aker. You saw Coach Vrabel and Ian Acher out of Arizona State in that tackle going back and forth. Sometimes the market with players, it's fleeting, you know, and who's going to have that money to sign Trent once they get him? So I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, John is always going to say the perfect, you know, the perfect words. But Kyle, his demeanor with it really did give me confidence that it's going to get done. You know, it was flippant. Out of 30 plus questions that Kyle took over in a 30-minute interview, Trent Williams maybe was covered like once, and it was like maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah, I don't even
Nobody talked to him about Trent. No. Yeah, so I think it's going to get done.
I do too.
All right, man. What do you got for the rest of the week, brother?
Ooh, I have no idea. We'll figure it out. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to reach out to David. I need to have him on. I need to have him catch me up on all
get
the
some draft stuff going.
Yeah,
Yo, let's get something going, bro.
He's it, bro.
Gotta get something going.
Yeah,
all three of us, bro. So. Me, you, David, the draft. We can get it going. It's been a while since I've seen Back Country Fam.
Yeah, we need to do a mock coming up soon. Like, we need to do the whole thing. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Tomorrow, I got Neutral Zone with Chunder Boy from Niner Narrative. That's going to be a really good one. We're going to be able to get more granular on some of these interviews that happen and hopefully some more news that happens between now and then. Until then, this is the coach signing off. Stay low and keep your feet moving.